So Me Time is a true Netflix movie, and it's got the awesome Kevin Hart, who is just absolutely hilarious in every single scene and every single thing that he does. I just feel like they could have maximized the script and the brilliant cast that they had so much more. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video, we are going to be reviewing Me Time, which is a buddy comedy movie starring the awesome Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg, and together they are a brilliant duo. And this movie started off so well in the beginning. I absolutely loved it. Kevin Hart, like I just said, is absolutely hilarious in literally every single movie and every single project that he does. And this one is no different, as he just brings so much hilarious energy. But not only that, he is actually really relatable and really endearing in the scenario that he's in. So he's a stay-at-home dad, and he is understandably feeling a little bit inadequate and jealous at his wife's networking event, as he got married really early and had kids really early as well, whilst his best friend has been single his whole life. When the film then isolates him with his best friend, and we explore all of the chaos and carnage that then ensues, which is actually a really great premise, and I just feel like they could have pushed it and used this so much more. But you know, it is still an enjoyable movie, an easy watch film, and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So Kevin Hart plays the lead character in this film called Sonny, and he is a stay-at-home dad who has lost touch with his party addict former best friend, and he agrees to have some me time after he has a bit of an intense situation at home and after his wife wants to spend more time with her kids. So we then explore all of the chaos and carnage that takes place when he has some me time for the first ever time in his life, and when he also reacquaints himself with his former best friend. Now, from a positives point of view, I absolutely love the first half of this movie. I thought it was so interesting, just this character, just delving into him a lot more, and then adding into that, obviously Kevin Hart is just an absolute comedy genius, and so it's just such an enjoyable film. And I really love how they really do show the natural desire that everybody has for me time, and also the importance of it. And Sonny is just such a good guy. He doesn't want to spend time away from his kids. He absolutely loves his family, loves what he does. So he kind of feels a little bit guilty of having some me time, and he's never really used to this. And so the concept of me time just feels so alien and so strange to him, as he's never really had it and is so dedicated and devoted to his kids. So I just absolutely loved it from like a mental health perspective. And from that perspective, even though what follows is a bit crazy, you can understand it, as this character doesn't really know the concept of me time and free time, and so when he has it, he doesn't really know how to use it, and then just gets so carried away, especially as he is reacquainting himself with his party addict former best friend, so is easily able to navigate down the wrong path, which I just think is so compelling. And as he is so isolated in this film, when he hears about all of the stuff that's happening with his wife and kids, he understandably gets so angry, as he's not able to manage his emotions effectively, because he literally is in the middle of nowhere, so can't really resolve it from a conversation in person. So like I said, even though what happens next is a little bit crazy, you can totally understand where this character is coming from that point of view. And on that point, it is just such a funny movie. The first half definitely a lot more funnier than the second half, but it is still a really funny movie regardless. However, it's not fully smooth sailing, as there are some negatives as well. So for example, I feel like it does get a little bit stupid in terms of the antics that these two best friends get up to, and they just could have gone down a much better, more intelligent and even funnier path, which would have literally made this film so iconic and so legendary. But instead, it does feel a little bit cliche and a little bit goofy. And it's a little bit disappointing, as like I said, they just set up this movie so brilliantly, and I would have loved it if they would have had a little bit more danger, a couple more twists and turns, and a lot of crazy things do happen in this movie, but it just gets resolved so quickly. So I feel like they could have given a better payoff for everything that they had set up across this movie. But you know, that being said, it is a true easy watch film, and if that's what you're after, then you are definitely going to enjoy Me Time. So from a cast and characters point of view, they have got an absolutely outstanding cast in Me Time. They could have used them a little bit better, but I do feel like they are really good in this film. So let's go through them one by one. So first up, we have the awesome Kevin Hart, who is playing Sonny Fisher. And like I keep praising this actor, I feel like he is an absolute comedy genius. Just even if he doesn't say anything, he is just so funny with his mannerisms. His physical comedy is absolutely hilarious, and he just knows how to make the audience just burst out laughing, as every single sequence with him in is just so good. And if you're not bursting out laughing with him, then you are really connected with him emotionally, as he does go through quite a lot of stuff in this movie and just carries it all really well. Thought it was a really interesting twist in terms of having role role reversal in terms of he is the stay-at-home dad in this movie and his wife is the truly successful career woman and is now exploring going even further with her career. And even though it is a true comedy movie, I think it does look at some important things. For example, the real responsibility and the time in which you need to dedicate and focus if you are going to have a family, the burden of money that comes with this as well. So I feel like it really does look at this really importantly. And the natural and understandable response that he was having when he was feeling really inadequate at his wife's networking event, I thought was really, really compelling. And Kevin Hart is just in some truly hilarious sequences in this movie. For example, that networking dinner was really, really wicked. All the stuff he gets up to when he has the house all for himself and then his daughter just comes in, I thought was absolutely brilliant. All of the interactions that he also has with his fellow teachers and the absolutely unbelievable sequence with the lion, I just thought was absolutely incredible too. But not only that, his character growth across this movie is really, really important too, as he learns so much. So I just feel like this character was absolutely incredible. Next up we have Mark Wahlberg, who's playing the second lead character, Hart. And I absolutely love this concept as well, as Kevin Hart has gone down one road and has kind of forgotten about his past and actually doesn't really want to have anything to do with Huck as his life is now so different. But Huck is such a good friend as he hasn't ever given up on the fact that he wants to reacquaint himself with Sonny. And so when these two characters re-met, I absolutely thought it was so good, and like I said, was just set up so brilliantly, as this guy is just the complete opposite in terms of being totally wild, in terms of being totally self-centered, and really does know how to throw an absolutely brilliant birthday party. And I just wish they would have gone down a completely different road with this character and with this storyline, as it took a little bit of a frustrating turn. And I absolutely love the path that they were on, and I just love this character as he is a true happy-go-lucky guy. And I just feel like he is able to teach so much to Sonny, but likewise is able to learn so much from him as well. I feel like they could have added a lot more tension and emotional development and even more hilarious stuff happening with these two characters, but it was just such lost potential. Then we have to talk about Jimmy O Yang, who usually is an absolute comedy genius himself as well. And I usually love all of the material that they do with this character, but he was unbelievably unlikable, wasn't funny whatsoever. And I feel like when this character entered, the movie then just became worse, and I just feel like this character was just so frustrating from that perspective. We've also got Regina Hall, who is such a formidable actress, and in this film she is playing Maya, the wife to Sonny, and I feel like she is a really great character. She's obviously really career driven and is really questioning whether she wants to take that next career step, as she will have even less time at home and with her kids, which is obviously one of the common challenges with a working mother. So I feel like that was really, really interesting. And also she is a really understanding wife as well, really understanding in all of the stuff that Sonny's had to give up in order to be a stay-at-home dad, and all of the craziness that Sonny does put her through in this film. I do actually feel like she is really understanding through all of that. And then we also have Gerardo Mendez playing Armando in this film, and I absolutely loved it when Kevin Hart's Sonny character just kept referring to the fact that these two characters are constantly in a game of chess. And I did like this character. He did kind of pose a bit of a third wheel angle to their relationship, but I just feel like they could have done so much more with that storyline as well. They set it up so brilliantly, and Armando had the potential of being such a good character, so really could have added a lot more tension and a lot more humor and a lot more craziness as well in this film. So, you know, I just feel like from a cast and characters point of view, they had some incredible cast members in this movie, but just could have used their characters so much better. So from a visuals point of view, Me Time does look really, really good. You can tell it's a modern movie as everything is super glossy and looks really, really impressive. And on that point, you really do feel like you are with the rich and famous, as everything is looking really extravagant. So for example, all of the parties, all of the mansions, and all of the yachts as well. And there are some hilarious sequences, especially at Huck's party. Those are absolutely brilliant. But in the second half of this film, it becomes really, really childish. But that being said, at least from a visuals point of view, it looks really, really good. So from a comparisons point of view, there are so many Netflix-esque type comedic movies, especially from a buddy comedy lead point of view. So for example, we have Yesterday, Neighbours, Grown Ups, Tag, Father Figures, and Like a Man as well. So whilst this isn't necessarily anything new, as there are so many movies in this category, it definitely does add a new spin to this awesome genre. So overall, you know, I did have a relatively good time in Me Time. I feel like Kevin Hart is just absolutely incredible and just works really, really well with this other cast. The cast on that point are really, really good. And the first half of this movie, at least, has an incredibly good setup, super relatable, super emotional, and just absolutely hilarious. And easily one of the best setups in a comedic film that I have seen in a long time. However, the second half of this movie just isn't able to match in the same way and just feels really, really goofy, really, really childish. But if that's what you're looking for, then I think you're going to have an absolute blast with Me Time. time. I just feel like it could have done so much more with the premise. But, you know, for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a solid 5 out of 10. Now, I'd love to hear what you thought of this film, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.